Oh, okay. Here we go. So we have the tarantula here. So the tarantula is very much about taking your time, getting to where you're going. It's a bit of an uncertain kind of beginner's energy, but there's also like a sluggishness to this where it says like, oh my gosh, just one foot in front of the other, right? Now this also equates in the tarot to the Two of Swords, which is a meeting together of the head and the heart to glean all of the information that you can whilst taking a pause before moving forward. This is like taking a moment to collect your thoughts in your heart, seeing what you need to get from each piece of you that has all the information you need from an emotion and intellect perspective before making a decision. So this is, doing the smart thing before you make a choice or before you move forward. So this is making sense. You might need some time to, take some time out and pause and reflect. Again, I'm really hearing to respond as opposed to react. Okay. Let's see what's going on. We respond mindfully. We react instinctively. I don't even want to say instinctively. I want to say not irrationally, but we respond from a place of like impulse. Yes. We react from a place of impulse. We respond from a place of consideration. We want to respond and not react. So we have the Two of Pentacles here starting you off here. So already we're juggling and multitasking, got a lot going on. What's interesting is that with the hawk here, hawk is all about attention to detail very much. Like the Virgo collective, I'm actually feeling from this that your totem for this month is the hawk. Your animal energy is the tarantula, but your totem is the hawk. So I feel like the hawk energy, the hawk medicine is something that you can call upon at any time this month. Go, can you help see this? Can you help me see this more clearly? Can you help me see all of my options when my view feels a bit narrow focused, right? And the hawk can help you see all of the options available to you and also creative solutions, creative minded thinking, right? Creative solutions to problems. This is also about balancing your work and your personal life as well, which Virgos could always use a little bit of help with. No shade, I love Virgos, but that's true. Y'all, the work-life balance can be a bit tricky, especially during a retrograde. We can get a little bit obsessed about what isn't going our way, and then other parts of our life that are going our way get the short end of the stick, right? But again, energy goes where your focus flows. I'm just going to say it differently every single time. What you focus on, right? What you think about, you bring about, right? Let's just do that one, okay? The hawk here. Okay. Let's see what else is going now. I'm hearing a song, Platonia, by Joshua Burnside. There's a lyric in that song that's go to the ocean, you'll find your answers. So I'm also hearing to take the time out, even if that is technically by a body of water, because there's water here as well, and really take some time out to kind of collect your thoughts. Be the tarantula. Assume that, Two of Swords or the Hanged Man, and just kind of go, let me just collect myself in the silence and the stillness outside of the stimuli that's going on around me, and kind of get it together so that I can like see all of the options at my disposal, but also so that I can respond from a place of thoughtful consideration as opposed to reacting from a place of impulse. Okay. Always good to do during Mercury retrograde anyway. So then we have the Page of Swords, which is information, communication, messages, insights, ideas, questions. What's interesting about this is that this is depicted as a roadrunner who has going so quickly and from impulse that they have left their sword behind. So again, I feel like this is another message about taking your time, getting to where you're going and practicing thoughtful consideration. But I'm also getting, because it is Mercury retrograde, I'm getting for you guys, this is a special note about dotting your I's and crossing your T's. That's a bit of a classical Mercury retrograde advice. It's like, double check everything. Don't sign any big contracts. And it's all like, okay. But for you guys, I'm hearing to take that literally. Really double check things, double check yourself. But also I'm hearing to schedule in time for yourself where there's no work or obligation involved. I'm hearing that there's a deep need, but you're going to get a lot out of it. The more time you take to be in a place of non-obligation, right? The more you'll get done in the areas of obligation in your life, whether that's work or, today to do tasks around, running errands or whatever have you. If you take the time to recharge, assume that Ace of Cups position that I saw in your meditation, really fill your own cup up, you're going to get a lot more done. But I'm feeling a need to recharge and take your time getting to where you're going and to take your time to kind of redirect your energy again. You are going to be manifesting more of what you're focusing on, what your energy is. There's something going on for you this month. So just be mindful of that and observe yourself and going, is the energy that I'm currently in something that I want more of? No, let me redirect it. Or yes, okay, let me keep on then. But I feel like that's largely about self-awareness, okay? Self-observation, really. Four of Cups. So this speaks of a certain dissatisfaction with one's lot. Kind of like, it's all right. I wish it were a bit different. A bit of a, but where's the fifth cup? Or why's it gotta be four? Right? It's like this boat at the bottom of the ocean that's a bit shipwrecked as well. I feel like how this can work in your favor ideally is about, because there's also an aspect of, traditionally this is shown or depicted by someone sitting underneath a tree and kind of like, looking discontent and everything at this cup that's offered, they're turning away. I'm really feeling for you guys, because we're talking about being near a body of water. I feel like for you guys, the more time that you can take to balance your emotions from a place of appreciation for what is working, the better. And please trust and know, things might get a bit wonky for you this month, but it's not always going to be that way. And sometimes it takes a bit longer to get a return on our emotional investments and on our effort investments. So the effort that you've made is not going unnoticed. It just may take a little bit of time for that return to come back on the flip side of Mercury in retrograde. So patience and long-term perspective around this as well. Okay? That's what it is. Not always easy, but it is the way. As the Mandalorian would say, it is the way. Okay, Two of Pentacles. Oh! King of Swords with the Two of Pentacles, that's what it is. Now, let me ask you a little something. That's a falcon, right? Very similar to hawk energy, which is coming as your totem for the month. So I'm really obsessed that we have these two birds. And look, the sight is got that little like helmet on so that it's like sight is like focused. It doesn't fly off or get disturbed, I think. Interesting. So King of Swords is the king of discernment and observation. With the Two of Pentacles, you are being asked to slip into a air sign kind of situation. I feel like really more of like a water sign as well, but an air sign in the sense where you can think before you act, but also having enough discernment to go, what really needs my focus, time, and attention more than what doesn't? And can we think a bit differently about what gets the majority of our time, focus, and attention, and how does it serve you emotionally? Because the work that you do, it may be stressful or you may love it, but either way, how you spend your time, how is that lining up with your emotional feelings? If you're not feeling great, but you're being really productive, then you're going to manifest more not feeling great, no matter how productive you are. If you don't feel good, what's the point? Something to think about. You're really being called to observe yourself like never before. You really, really are. On the flip side, if you are doing things that lead to a lot of good feelings, right, but they aren't necessarily what you get paid to do, perhaps that's good information for you to take in and go, I feel really good when I do this. It's more of like a hobby or a passion side project, but maybe I could give more time to this and see where it goes, right? Because life is meant to be enjoyed, right? Something in that. Same with your relationships too. When I spend time with this person, I feel really tired after and drained. Good for me to observe. Or when I'm with this person, I feel really, really understood and seen, and I feel better. Good to observe. You're really being asked to observe and really look at your work-life balance and kind of see who adds to the pot and who takes but doesn't give what they're getting, right? You're really being asked to observe your given circumstances all the way around, from that Two of Swords, tarantula place of head and heart, really being asked to observe. Page of Swords. Mercury retrograde is actually a great time to do that, because you're able to see things from another perspective because everything's going in reverse, right? Right. So we were talking about the Page of Swords, and now we have the Ace of Wands, and we're talking about, responding as opposed to reacting and haste and moving quickly and all of that, passion and instinct and all of that, right? And the Ace of Wands here, which is that big burst of energy and creative source, I'm really hearing with this Ace of Wands here, do you see how it's on top of this hill? And up here, you can see all this perspective, and then you have all this perspective, rather. And then you have this butterfly here who's flying high, who's the product of metamorphosis and transformation and goes through the egg to the caterpillar to the chrysalis in order to become this butterfly. I feel like you're really being asked the question, what really gets you going? What really gives you that energy? What do you do where you look up and time has flown? Who do you hang out with where you look up and time has flown? Really getting clear about that and getting information with the Page of Swords around this Ace of Wands reality for you, whatever that may be. I feel like you're being asked to observe it more than take any action around it right now, but sometimes the observation is the action itself, right? You're being asked to kind of notice that a little bit more. Or a lot more. Take a little coffee break on that. All right, Four of Swords. Four of Cups. Why did I say Four of Swords? Interesting. I looked at the Four of Cups and went, Four of Swords. Oh, I love it. Oh, this is great. Okay. So for the Four of Cups, we have Justice. This is really nice. So it's interesting how it's tying in. So Justice is equilibrium, balance, everything being fair and as it's meant to be from a judicial standpoint or from a technical standpoint, right? Hierophant's like everything is how it's meant to be from like a universal, higher spiritual, perspective. But this is about everything actually being fair and as it's meant to be. It's not always pleasant, the Justice key, but it is right, okay? Now, what I'm getting with this, with the Four of Cups and kind of a dissatisfaction, and sometimes you have a long-term gain over your, present efforts, right? I feel like this is just coming in to say, you will get your returns that you're putting in. Everything will be fair and everything will be as it's meant to be. You will get what you give. I feel like that's what this is saying. You will get what you give, and what you focus on, you will get more of, right? So trust that the efforts that you're making now, you will get receipts on, but also know that if you're not feeling great around the efforts that you're making, you're going to get more of that. So really it's about an emotional adjustment as well, and observing yourself long enough to say, sometimes, I swear, sometimes we're really good as humans at overcomplicating things. And sometimes it really is as simple as, what do I do that I feel good? And what do I do and I don't feel good? Sometimes it's just as simple as that. And from that honest and fair assessment, look at the scales here. See that? It's kind of hearkening back to the Two of Pentacles here, right? And really balancing that out. And with the Sword of Truth here, right? What do I do when I feel good? And what do I do when I'm not feeling great? What's the information in that? What can I glean from that, right? And then taking the truth that comes out of that question and observing and holding space for it, right? What's really interesting here as well, I'm getting a very specific message around, I'm really drawn to the fact, first of all, this is Libra energy, right? But I'm really getting a strong pull to, I'm really drawn to the fact that she's wearing red and green, which are like Christmas or Yule colors, right? So it's interesting around that, or at least that time of year. I'm hearing around that there's a certain aspect of the efforts that you make now, or the steps that you take now during this Mercury in retrograde, Venus in retrograde, there's going to be some sort of long-term return that you see towards the end of this year, starting from Libra season, which is October, late September to late October, October 22nd, I think is when it switches over to Scorpio. Into the holiday. There's something about the holiday season, which kind of begins really, at least for me, in October and then ends beginning of January. There's something that you're doing now that you're going to see some returns around the end of the year when we start getting ready for the holidays again. That's fun. I feel like that's a little nod from Spirit going, listen, don't worry about it. Just focus on the good feeling. Focus on knowing that you're going to see the rewards of all the effort that you've put in, but sometimes patience, right? And just staying in gratitude for what is going well, what is going right will allow your energy to align with this for the long term. You'll look back and go, oh my God, wow, that's amazing. It took some time to get here, but it was so worth the wait. Okay. Back to the scale too. In Egyptian lore, when you die, you're presented with this scale and your heart goes on one side and the feather goes on other. And if your heart is heavier than that feather, then you do not get to pass on and you're kind of recycled from what I understand it. So again, I feel like it's another question of, for how much of your time are you actually feeling good? Are you light of heart? And are you enjoying this life as you are meant to and as you deserve to? All right, let's go ahead and get you an oracle. I'm feeling like this one. Get an oracle from my Virgos here. Let's see. Oh, y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. The eyes of beauty. This says positive expectations and clarity. Were we not talking about this all the live long day? Positive expectations. Reverse that 4 of Cups, honey. Positive expectations and clarity. What do I do when I feel good? What do I do when I not feel good? Can I understand that everything is going to work out in the long term, even if it's not on my timetable? Can I observe myself, right? And really see how I'm helping myself out or not? How can I respond and not react, right? Positive expectations, clarity. 25 also, that adds up to 7, which is all about the effort that we do and all of the reward that we get being worth that effort too. So it's definitely an aspect in this reading. I'm just hearing to kind of try to appreciate where you are and make the best out of where you are and know that it's all going to pay off. But remember, you're going to attract and manifest more of the same. So your assignment from Spirit is just to have a good old time, right? Can you weave time in? If you don't enjoy the work that you do, can you schedule time in to have fun so that you can balance that energy with an energy of joy so you can manifest more of that? Okay. It's just about being mindful of your energy and understanding how vibrational attraction works. And if you understand that, right, then you're in a position of powerful manifestation and intentional manifestation, right? And it's all about the balance, Mary. It's all about the balance. Positive expectations and clarity, clearly seeing yourself and what position you're in to manifest your highest and best good and good feelings. All right. Remember I saw that wedding for you guys too, where, and you don't have to take that literally. It's just like a celebration of something that didn't seem much worth celebrating before. But one day we're going to look back at this and laugh. One day we're going to look back at this and go, oh my God, I'm getting the payoff for this now. It's been all this months later, right? But it being worth it.